Okay, well, it's 10 o'clock, and this is our first session of the 6 personal perspectives. And the easiest way to describe it is it's mindset, attitude, and approach to life. And I'm Rebecca, and I'm glad that you guys are here with me. It's good to see familiar faces. And just to make sure that everything is recording the way that it should, I'm going to go into speaker view now. I'm going to mute everybody. And then what we're going to do is, as we go along this morning, Erin is with me. She's going to be monitoring the chat box. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop your comments in the chat box. And Erin, I think I've got it, right? You can see me. I can see everyone. We're on speaker view. We're recording. And we'll get started. So I'm going to start by just explaining to you why this class is one of my favorite. The title officially is called The 6 Personal Perspectives. And it's based on, obviously, everything Gary Keller. And it's because they went and they researched and they wanted to find out what, okay, let me see if I can do this and share my screen with you. Can you see my screen right now? Can you see Facebook?
I can see you.
You can see me.
And I can see Facebook. I can see both.
Okay. So, I want my slides. And can you see my slides right now?
Yes, I can see your slides.
Okay. So why can't I do the whole present option? That's a little different than normal. I'm not in the normal.
What about there's a present button at the top next to share? Does that do it?
It's because I have the Zoom on there. That's why. Thank
you.
Okay, so can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, that's me. And I've done a bunch of stuff. May will be 17 years in real estate. And I've been with Keller Williams my entire career. And so everything I'm about to share is obviously has come from being with Keller Williams. And the question that Gary Keller asked was, what is it that differentiates those who achieve at a high level from those who don't seem to accomplish as much? And so I'm going to unmute, or you can unmute yourself. And I want you guys just to share with me right now, what are some of your ideas as to, like, why is it that some people are super crazy successful and then other people aren't? Unmute yourself and give me some ideas.
Procrastination.
Procrastination. I know that voice. That's Kelly, isn't it? Yeah, that's a good one. What else?
I think being willing to get uncomfortable.
Willing to get uncomfortable could absolutely be a differentiator. Absolutely, that's a good one. What else? Say that again.
Commitment to your time.
Commitment to your time, is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think, you know, all of us have the same amount of time every single day, and it's up to us to decide how we're going to spend it. And so one of the things they found is that it ultimately came down to 3 things. And I'm going to need your help, Erin, to see if we can mute. Because I don't. And just so that they can mute themselves so that, okay. It came down to 3 things, okay? It's mindset, attitude, and approach to life. And when you're doing anything, you want to begin with the end in mind. And so whether it would be, I want to win an award, or I want to pass 9th grade, or I want to make the soccer team, whatever the goal is that you have, you want to begin with the end in mind. So that's the goal. And then you want to ask yourself the question, what is it that I need to do to accomplish that goal? And so beginning with the end in mind, in my opinion, is that when we study the most successful, the most influential, the most wealthy of the world, it's that they had multiple income streams working for them simultaneously, so that when things happen like what we're in right now, yes, there's going to be this up and down of impact. However, it's not going to completely wipe them out. And a really inspirational story came from these two people on the screen right now, Jean and Rebecca Rivers. And they shared at Mega Camp last August in Austin the different income streams that they have. And at one point, their entire livelihood was completely taken out by a hurricane, and they were living in their parents' garage, and they had to start over and literally build themselves back up. And I love inspirational stories like that. And so if we begin with the end in mind, it's that we want to set ourselves up with our mind, our attitude, and our approach to life, so that when things happen, we have just that surge of resilience that takes over, and we have that hope that no matter what happens, I know that it's going to be okay. And so it all comes down to the 6 personal perspectives. And today, during our time, we're going to cover the first one. And I want to share something else here on the screen with you guys, so that you can just kind of see what I'm going to be covering. And then please feel free that if you want, okay, can you see the 6 personal perspectives on my screen right now?
Yes.
Awesome. So this is a Keller Williams course. However, it's something that anyone, any age can apply to any part of their life. And so let's go to our first little packet. And this is where Gary Keller says, mindset is the key. When you interview the very top people and ask them what their biggest challenge is, invariably, they will tell you it is mindset, keeping it strong, focused, and positive amid the many challenges they encounter every day on their way to the top. Gary continues, life is an inside to the outside experience. And when you get this at a deep level, you realize that who you are inside determines and drives what you are outside. The very best achievers know this and therefore truly work on and protect their mindset. And so a part of the homework for this class was to watch a video, and I dropped it in the event. If you haven't had a chance to watch this video, it's a really inspirational story, and it helps people kind of get into that mindset of, if this was it for me and my life was about to end, what are the things, what are the lessons, what is it that I would want to go and do different in my world? Well, it's a very inspirational story. Did anyone watch that video? Anyone?
Carole Pope says yes.
Cool. If you didn't, we'll drop the link and you can watch it again. However, right now, especially, I think we're all feeling that way, aren't we? I mean, we're kind of being put in this position, and there are some incredible opportunities that could come from this. And I'll read real fast where it says, if you are committed to being learning-based and living a learning-based life, learning is both empowering and energizing. It's about gaining new knowledge and skills. It's about renewal, and renewal is fun. And so if you just get into that mindset of, look, there are things in my life that I want to accomplish, and I'm not ready to leave this planet yet, this class is going to help you identify what some of those things are. So the 6 personal perspectives, the first one is commit to self-mastery. And commit to self-mastery, what that means is I'm going to nail this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this so much so that I could say I'm going to master this thing. The second one is commit to the 80-20 principle. And this is, I'm going to get focused on the things that really matter, the 80-20. We're going to dive into that. Step 3 is I'm going to move from E to P, meaning many times we are entrepreneurial. We kind of do things, I always kind of refer to it as the tap dancer or like jazz hands. We kind of like wing it. We wing our way through life, just like, oh, I'm just going to roll with it. However, the reality is if you can move from entrepreneurial, which is the E, to P, which is purposeful, meaning I get up and I spend my time purposefully, you will actually accomplish more. And we'll get into that. It's that I'm willing to be purposeful, and it's because I want to break through that ceiling of achievement or break through whatever that ceiling is that's kind of holding me down. 4 is make being learning-based the foundation of your action plan. And that is, I'm willing to be taught. I know that I don't know it all. How many people, raise your hands, you know someone who whenever you go talk to them, they always answer with, I know. Anyone? Nobody? Am I the only one out there? Hello? You talk to people and they're like, oh, yeah, totally, I know that. Well, quite frankly, I don't want to be around know-it-alls. I want to be around people who know a lot and are willing to share that with me. The people who are like the know-it-alls, like, oh, I know, they're not learning based. And so not everyone is the good fit to be in my world when they're coming off like they know it all. Step 5 is remove your limiting beliefs. Now, we all have this programming. Limiting beliefs are the things that happen to us along the way in life. Many of them are there from early childhood. Many of them are there without even realizing that you know they're there. And the only way that you can identify them is to get into a group like this of trusted people, get into relationship with people, have time together on a regular basis where you get to know the other person, so that then out of a caring, compassionate place, I can call you out. Right? I've spent enough time with you, getting to know you, investing and giving to you, that then when it comes time and you ask for my opinion, I can give it to you very honestly. And I'm trying to use the right words. I can be pretty blunt because I've earned the right to speak that way into your life, if that makes sense. And so I unlimit my thinking and my success by hanging around people who care enough about me not to just tell me what it is I want to hear, but be honest with me. And then the 6th and final perspective is be accountable. And right now, I don't know about you, when your schedule changes and when things kind of get out of your routine, it's easy to want to just let this one slide. However, it's now more than ever, at least for me, I'm leaning into my coaches. I'm leaning into the people that are holding me accountable. And I mean, fully transparent right now in my life, for the last however long we've now been in quarantine or lockdown, stay at home, I think, Erin, correct me, keep me honest, I think maybe I asked for one pass, but every other morning at 8:30, every single morning, I have a check-in call, a daily check-in call with Erin. Have we missed one or two?
We have maybe missed one. I'm not even sure we missed one. I think we might have hit all the morning check-ins, but.
Do I want to talk to Erin every single morning? No. I mean, I do. Don't take that personally. I totally do. But I mean, the flesh and just me being honest, when I'm in bed, I'm happy there. Totally happy there. And if I could like get away with doing Facebook Live from my jammies in bed, I would totally do that, wouldn't you? However, that's just not acceptable in the world if you want to like, you actually want friends and want them to want to hang around you. So one of the ways that I've personally held myself accountable is to Erin every single day every single day at the same time, we're having a check-in call. And I would suggest that all of you, everyone should have that right now, whether it be a friend that you text, hey, I'm up, I showered, or hey, I'm up, I got out, I went for a walk. And it's short accounts right now because of the times that we're in. You know, just checking in once a week, at least in my opinion right now, is probably not enough. So those are the 6 personal perspectives. We're going to go through the first one here in just a minute. So when you listen to this video, it's about the Miracle on Hudson. The challenge question is, you know, how would you change? And what would you do, or what would you do that you are waiting to get done because you think you're going to live forever? And what are the 3 things you want to accomplish in your life? And so I'd like you just to grab a piece of paper, a pen, or, you know, grab your phone into a new note. And I want you to ask yourself this question. What are 3 things that you would like to accomplish in your life that you haven't done yet? Could be a trip somewhere. It could be making a certain amount of money. It could be giving a certain amount of money. It could be, I'll stop talking. Take a few minutes, and I want you to identify 3 things that you would like to accomplish in your life that you haven't yet. All right, does everyone have at least one thing? 1 or 2 things? Raise your hand if you do.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So mine, the one that came to mind, so I'm just gonna say it, is I want to have the experience of singing on stage at the Hollywood Bowl in California. Never been there, I've only seen pictures, and I think it's like, what's that movie from the 80s with, I think it's, is it Dream a Little Dream, or which one is it, where I want to sing on stage at the Hollywood Bowl. So that's mine. Someone else be bold and tell me what yours is. What's something you want to accomplish in this life before you leave this planet?
Oh, Carole Pope says she wants to write a romance novel. Right on. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, be an author. I think all of us, you know, have that desire within us to write a book and share a story, or make one up and share it. Absolutely. What else?
My daughter wants to go into film, and I want to be able to watch her actually make a film. I'd love to be on set, you know, watching her direct and like either assist or just be part of that energy and that feeling.
I love it. Yeah. My daughter Bella loves to sing. She just taught herself the ukulele in a matter of like 2 hours and does all these amazing, and she's got so much boldness to just sing and let the world, you know, enjoy it. And so I would love to see my kids accomplish their goals too. That's a good one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to walk through how could we go about making something like that possible in our lives. So we're going to do a reality check. High achievers all have a reality mindset. And that is that the first thing that they do is they recognize where they are and proactively take action based on reality. And so without a reality check, it's just you're dreaming, right? And you don't really have the tools to make it all possible. So here on the screen, you're going to see it's what's your goal. Okay, so for me, I'm going to use my example of sing on stage at the Hollywood Bowl. Okay, how am I doing with the goal? Well, what am I doing? I do have a picture of it on my vision board, so I am looking at it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm sharing some of this, but I would love to sing with the Gaither Band or Sandy Patty, because growing up, that was super cool. I wouldn't turn down Celine Dion if she asked me to sing with her on stage at the Hollywood Bowl. However, I've actually started following certain artists that I'm thinking, you know, when the invitation comes and they go, hey, Rebecca, like, pop up here and sing with me. So I've started following people. That's probably as far as I've gone on that. How do I feel about that? Not the greatest. I feel like I could be doing more. I could be exercising my voice more. I could be more proactive in telling people what I really want to do in the realm of singing and sing publicly more. That's why I was a dork and went live earlier, just to do that. So what will my future look like if I don't achieve my goal? Well, if I don't get to sing on stage at Hollywood Bowl, I'd be disappointed in myself. I'd kind of feel like I hadn't lived my best life. I hadn't fully lived to the potential that I was potentially created to live. So I'd probably be pretty disappointed. And so I want you to do the same for you now. I want you to go through these questions. So a reality check. What's the goal? How are you doing with that goal? How do you feel about that? And what will your future look like if you don't achieve the goal? And that's an uncomfortable moment to sit in for a little bit, however you need to, so that then you can take the next step. So just take a few minutes and let yourself ask yourself that question. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk through step 1, which is committing to self-mastery. And self-mastery is that you have the possession of great knowledge and skills and habits that make you the master of you. High achievers understand that before they can pursue mastery at any endeavor they choose to undertake, they must commit to pursuing a baseline of self-mastery. Once attained, will allow them to master other things. So when you commit to achieving self-mastery, 1, you need to know your goals. 2, you need to know what your strengths and weaknesses are. And then 3, you need to know how to work with both your strengths and weaknesses to seek and master the necessary knowledge, skills, and habits to reach your goals. Mastery is the possession of great knowledge, skills, and habits that make one a master of a subject. So I'm going to take a minute right now.
Could you repeat number 3? Sorry, Rebecca.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 is know how to work with both your strengths and weaknesses. I need to be aware of what my good things are. I need to be aware of what my not so great strengths are. And then I need to bring other people in and help me do the things I don't do so good and really focus in on my strengths. And there's a great visual guide here in the realm of real estate where it says, okay, here's the goal. I want to master something. That's puzzle piece number 1. I have a strength. I'm good with people. My weakness is I'm kind of uncomfortable bringing up business. And so as soon as you get real with yourself and have a reality check and then identify and ask yourself the question, what am I good at? What am I not so good at? Then you can put together a plan to be able to master whatever that is. And there's a great example of this. And so I want to the video, we're going to watch this video. And then we'll wrap it up here in a minute. So for whatever reason, my video link didn't work there. So let's see if it works here. Thank you. That's my 5-minute warning. I asked him to knock on the door because otherwise I'm gonna, this will be the 3-hour class that none of you signed up for. Okay, the video isn't working. And I can find it a different way. So anyone that is with Keller Williams, you have access to do what I'm about to do on the screen. Are you seeing my KW right now?
Yep.
Okay. If you're not with Keller Williams, don't worry. I'll show you how you can get the links. So if you're the super overachiever and you're like, okay, Rebecca, I want all 6 perspectives and I want to get good like today, you can just literally log into Connect and then type in 6 personal perspectives, hit search, and then it will pop up here, the 6 personal perspectives. You click on the blue link, and then it's going to take you to materials. And then here, PowerPoint with embedded videos, you can download the full student manual, which is like 167 pages. We're just gonna watch this one video and then we'll wrap up for today. And here we go.
G'day.
I think you need to open a new tab.
Yeah, I'm not
Self-mastery. You know, this is one.
Okay, so you're not seeing Bruce's face?
Nope.
Sorry, guys. This is the
You may
one.
need to open a new tab.
Stand by. I'm going to impress you. I promise. Okay, can you see commit to self-mastery now?
G'day. I'm Bruce Hardy.
Yes.
I'm committing to self-mastery. You know, this is one of the main 6 perspectives that I think we all need to focus on, particularly if we want to take our business and our lives to the highest level. You know, when I was younger and lived in Australia, a good friend of mine was a black belt in karate. He invited me to participate in karate, so I joined. I was a white belt. And after about 6 weeks or so, we were one day practicing sparring. And it was interesting because we were throwing a punch, relatively simple, straightforward punch. We both knew how to do it. The idea was that you would throw the punch and you would stop 2 inches from the other person's face. So my friend, the black belt, would do it and he would snap, his gi would snap, and I had wind hitting me in the face, and it was just beautiful the way he threw it. Then it was my turn. And I got down and I went whack, and I watched my friend fall to the floor because I hit him instead of stopping 2 inches in front of his face. We both knew how to do it. He'd mastered it, I had not. I will tell you, I brought the same approach to my real estate business. I realized my focus had to be on listings. And what I did was, by focusing on my listing presentation, practicing over and over and over again, I was able to list over 250 homes a year. There's a wonderful saying out there, and that is, amateurs practice to get it right, professionals practice to never get it wrong. My question to you, are you an amateur or are you a professional? Commit to self-mastery.
All right. Okay, cool. So thanks, Bruce Hardy, for giving us the analogy of how to commit to self-mastery. It takes about 10,000 hours to earn a black belt, or anything that you're wanting to get good at, you're not going to get good at it overnight. So singing. If I wanted to be a great singer, there are some gifted people who have just woken up one morning, opened their mouth, and this beautiful melody comes out. However, the reality is most people have to practice. So if I want to sing on stage at the Hollywood Bowl someday, using that analogy, then I've probably got to ask myself the question, have I put the time in? Have I been practicing the equivalent of 10,000 hours to then be able to have the practice and the ability to say, like, ooh, I've mastered this. If you want to learn to be an incredible pogo stick champion, it means that you've got to go do this over and over, the equivalent of 10,000 hours. If you want to be an incredible real estate agent and you're saying, oh, open houses are so frustrating, or I can't do this particular thing, or whatever, really, you need to ask yourself the question, have I put my time in? Or if, you know, I'm really great at this part of the job, but not this part of the job, the question is, have you put 10,000 hours into that to be able to truly master that thing? So as we go through this series every Wednesday, 10 a.m., we're going to break apart and dissect the 6 personal perspectives, and we're going to do this. So your homework now is I'll upload the packet that I was sharing on the screen with you, and I want you, if you can, print it out. If not, just have it on your screen, grab a notebook, and I want you to ask yourself those questions. Check out that really great YouTube video. It's less than 5 minutes long. Watch it, and then take the time to think and ask yourself these questions. And as we continue to progress, we're going to learn about tools that the most successful, influential, impactful people use, like GPS, 411, how to have a time-blocked calendar, how to be accountable. All of that is going to come from our time together as we dive deep into the 6 personal perspectives. So now I want to just take a quick minute, and I'd love to ask for your guys' opinion. At this point, what we could do is we could just pause and all together right now mastermind on this topic, or we could split into a couple of separate little rooms where it would be more of like a group of 4 or 5, and we could kind of share with everyone and then come back together. If I was to ask a question, and let me see if it will let me do this. And answer is yes or no all together. So if I do this and then send this out to the group, okay, so then we're going to ask this question in our Zoom by launching this. Do you want to break out, or do you want to be all together? So I want you to, let's take a vote. So the first one is yes, I want to break out into smaller groups, 3 or 4 people, maybe 4 or 5 people, or no, I'd prefer to do this all together. And if you don't vote, then majority is going to win here in just a few seconds. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, we're ending the poll, and we're going to stick together here, and we're going to talk through what you heard. And I'm going to get out of this screen, and we'll just come back together. And so I just would love to hear, in the last 30 minutes of hearing me ramble, what are some things that you've heard that are new? What are some things that you're going to maybe take and apply to the rest of your day today? So unmute yourself and share with me.
For me, I really appreciated that my vision, or after you asked our goals, my vision wasn't matching that. So I wasn't practicing the things to make that happen.
Okay, that's
so
great.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing, Sloan. That's good. Who else?
I don't know that it's necessarily like, I think the thing that sticks with me is just that question of like, how is it going to feel? How are you going to feel if you don't accomplish those things that you have on your heart to do. And when I've spent the few minutes you gave us thinking about that. And that is a really powerful thing. And I hadn't given that a lot of thought before. I'd given thought to what my dreams were, but not, like if you don't take action, what is that going to be like?
That's really good. Thanks for sharing, Erin. And, that's why questions are so powerful. Questions that we ask other people, questions that we ask ourselves. Any relationship that we're in, if we're frustrated with the answers that we're getting from people, don't be frustrated at the person answering the question. Turn it back to yourself and ask yourself the question, am I asking the right questions to get the right answers that are going to satisfy what it is that I want to know? It's no different than your kid comes home from school and you're like, how was your day?
And Carole is saying her takeaway is going to be more purposeful.
I like that. Being more purposeful in thinking time. A really great book, if you haven't read it, is called The Road Less Stupid by Keith Cunningham. And ultimately, if I get this right, and I could be a little off, just forgive me, the understanding is that Keith has written these books, and it's Keith's own story that inspired the Rich Dad, Poor Dad story. So the Rich Dad, Poor Dad story is based on Keith. And Keith writes and says, the one thing, if I could go back and change anything, is to be more purposeful about thinking time. Do I time block and schedule and have a reminder that says thinking time on my calendar with questions to ask? And John Maxwell has an amazing book that Tara, my MAPS coach, told me to get, and it's been incredible. I think it's Leaders Ask Great Questions. And it's just this big fatty book of a ton of questions that you can ask yourself and that you can be asking other people in your world. So I think you're right, Carole. It's being purposeful about our thinking. It's being purposeful about questions that we're asking ourselves and others. So anyone else have anything else to share?
Keeping in curiosity.
Keeping in curiosity, absolutely. So many times we get into this place of thinking we know it all, and we don't. And there are people way smarter than us. And so if we just stay in that place of curiosity, Cheryl, you're right. That's a really good one. What else?
Suzanne says, I'm going to use Messenger to reach out to others today and build relationships beyond posting and reading likes, thinking about being more purposeful in that way.
That's good. That's good. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap up our session for today. Like I said, we're going to be here every Wednesday, 10 o'clock sharp. I'll do my best to respect your time. We've gone a little bit over today just as we were setting up all of our tech. And if you have any questions about anything, life, real estate, business, survival skills, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help encourage, cheer you on through this time. And I just trust you're going to have a fabulous day ahead, and we'll be in touch soon. All right. See you later.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.